Today's tip is specifically about the glutes. Now, when women train the glutes, all they ever think about is purely extending the hips, so taking it in a straight line forward and backwards. Now, the muscle the glutes that the girls want to grow is specifically the Glute Max. This is the one that's going to really stick out and give that kind of booty look. Now, the problem that historically with most people is they think that the glutes run straight up and down. However, they come across the body. Now, the glutes have three primary movements: hip extension, forward and backwards, external rotation of the hip, and abduction of the hip. So we've got rotation out externally of the hip, lateral movement of the hip, and extension. So when you're training the glutes, you want to think, am I extending the hip? Well, in most cases people are. Have I got any external rotation of the glute? So am I maximally contracting the glute? And have I got any kind of abduction of the hip? So if you've got internally rotated hips, you've got adducted hips, which is inside, and you've not got any extension, you're not going to be training the glutes. So in a lot of cases when you see the squat, and a lot of girls are coming up with the knees in and their hips are in, they're not going to be getting the glutes to a fully shortened position. There'll be a lengthened position in this position here, but when you come to the top, you want to think about trying to externally rotate, not necessarily from the knees, but the hips. So when I'm bringing my glutes here, I'm coming up and I'm trying to shorten and maximally contract. So we're going to take the exercise which most people do day in, day out, but I know you can get a lot more from it. So Reed's going to show you the standard hip extension on the bench. So in many cases, you'll have a bar across your hips, and I'll see girls literally going up and down, and thinking that purely going up and down is going to be maximally working the glutes. A little tip for you to try is when you get to the bottom, it's not a problem if there's a slight little bit of internal rotation or the knees slightly come together, but on the way up, what you want to do is maximally lift the hips to the top, and you want to think about the glutes coming across the body and contracting them, rotating them as hard as you possibly can, which is going to create a maximal shortening of the glutes. So we're going to come all the way down, and on the way back up, thinking we've got the hip extension, which is coming up, we've got the slight abduction, which is pushing the knees, not necessarily out wide, but you're pushing out on the knees, and then you're trying to contract the glutes under and create a massive shortening. So to get the fullness of the glutes, you want to maximally lengthen them and maximally shorten them, but think about the three planes of movement that the glutes go in, and you're going to have a fantastic set of glutes, and that's going to complement the exercises you're going to do in the gym.